Hey everyone, welcome back to The Zone. I am your host Lumpy, and today we're going to be looking at the DayZ Standalone that was released just before Christmas on Steam. This is a game that I played quite a bit of recently. I mean, I played the mod a ton when it first came out, as well as towards the end of sort of its recent life cycle. And I got to say, I was massively hyped for the DayZ Standalone. And I can say it hasn't disappointed so far. So what exactly has been transferred over from the mod? Well, the style of PvP/PvE type gameplay where you're fighting against players and zombies is still very much there. And I would say it's even more amplified in the DayZ Standalone. Because currently, right now, the zombies aren't quite in the game as of yet. There are some zombies there for that sort of, very not quite as easy to run around the map sort of thing, but they are sort of slowly implementing them over time due to sort of like server issues. Because in the mod, zombies caused a lot of lag on the server. Once the bodies were there, they would sort of all sink below the ground, or they just couldn't quite respawn properly, and it would cause problems where the server would just be laggy or desync, or there'd just be a lot of general issues in game. So what they are trying to do is they're trying to sort of stabilize the PvP side of it with all the players on the server before they then slowly implement zombies over the build, which I think is a really good idea, and it really sort of helps players sort of get into that PvP mentality. Other stuff that they have really sort of improved from the mod is just the inventory system is amazing. It's really nice. It's sort of very primitive at the moment. It's sort of very, it's still a very much shell, but from compared to the Arma 2 system where you had to sort of press G and you'd stop and you'd crouch and you do all the other really janky sort of inventory system, they've made a lot of stuff drag and drop. It's a lot easier to sort of, you can do it while you're running, you can hold down your inventory system while you're running and move stuff around, which is really nice, and it just sort of makes it a little more fluid. It's now taking that janky thing away, which is I really like, and I can't wait to see the finished UI and the finished inventory system. It's going to be really good. So what are some of my gripes? Well, at the moment, like I say, the zombie stuff isn't quite there, and the zombies are still a little bit weird to shoot at, a little bit weird to move. They're really unpredictable, which is kind of a nice thing, but also a really annoying thing when you sort of trying to get rid of them and you're tracking a guy, and unfortunately you've got the zombie aggro, and you're trying to sort of deal with them, but they're just sort of all over the place, and they're not quite as polished yet, which is sort of it's still alpha. It's very, very sort of primitive, so I can understand that very much. Another gripe of mine at the moment is the loot system is sort of very still being worked on. I'm not too sure how it is now, but the current before when I was playing, it was very hard to find loot after a few hours into a server reset. The servers are resetting every 4 to 5 hours, and that obviously refreshes loot tables. It refreshes all the loot in the buildings. But if you're a new player and you're sort of joining hour 2 after a reset, a lot of the gear has sort of been taken. So you're sort of picking up bits and bobs, and it can be pretty frustrating because you do see people sort of running around with all this gear, and then you're sort of trying to gear up yourself, and you keep going into building after building after building, and you're not finding anything, and it is kind of disheartening. And when you're sort of like looking for a can opener or anything to open some food, and it's kind of annoying when you can't, and then you die because you've run out of water or food. But overall, guys, I really do recommend the DayZ Standalone. It is a lot of fun to play solo, and also even more fun to play in a squad. I play in a squad about 4 or 5 or even 3 people, and I've had an absolute blast. I can sit there for hours playing and not get bored. It is just amazing fun to see people and the reactions you get. There are some cracking clips like this.
He's got a gun.
Okay. Run! There's not much you can do about that now. Run, help me, Panky! Help me! Help me!
That just make you want to have an absolute blast, and I'm really, really happy that they have brought the standalone out now, and I can't wait to see its progression into beta and even into full release. So guys, do remember, if you want to pick up DayZ, I'd highly recommend it. Go over to the Steam store and you can buy it there for $19.99, and I will definitely get a zone server set up for you guys on here. So head over to eu.alienwarearena.com/the zone and check out the discussion thread for this episode. I'll try and get the server set up ASAP, and I'll even make a new thread when I've done so. And guys, do remember to check out last week's giveaway episode. If you want your chance to win some Rocket gear, head over there and go to the discussion thread, and there'll be the 4 questions in there where you need to answer those for your chance to win some Rocket gear. So guys, that's all I've got time for on this week of The Zone. I thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. I will see you in 7 days' time. Thank you for watching.